Cinderella is a great example of how stories get to be told through the storyteller's perspective and don't have to be 100% accurate to the character's psychological profile. So the story gets to end with the happily ever after, and it kind of doesn't tell all the working through and all the hard stuff that really needed to take place after that. So Cinderella is obviously the story of a little girl who experiences two significant traumatic losses early in her life. The story opens with her mother dying, and then the father, in hopes to find a healthy, loving maternal character for her, he marries a woman who turns out to be the evil stepmother. And then shortly after that marriage, the father dies. So kind of ironically, this woman who's supposed to be a loving and maternal support ends up taking away the last thing that Cinderella has from her old life. So Cinderella goes from being a very wealthy, taken care of child to basically being enslaved by the evil stepmother. But the thing that we know about Cinderella is that she was a really resilient child. The story says that she, despite the hardship, despite all the things that she went through, she chose to be a loving and caring character. So you could explain that by saying that it was just her temperament. Was the way that she was born. Despite all the things that she went through, she continued to be loving and nurturing, and she kind of projected all of these feelings onto her pets and onto the animals. And actually, temperament is one great indicator of resilience. You could also look at it another way and say that she was a resilient and smart kid, and that she recognized the fact that if she was going to survive her stepmother and her evil stepsisters, the only way that she was going to be able to make it through the situation is by putting a smile on her face and working through and just making it through the situation. But what we do know about Cinderella is that she was resilient and that she was adaptive and that she longed for relationships and that she wanted to have a healthy attachment. And she kind of projected all of these feelings onto the mice and onto the animals. So I don't think it's surprising that Cinderella found her Prince Charming. I think that this was something that she was looking for, and that good things happen to people. You could call it fate, you could call it karma, you could call it chance. In positive psychology, we believe that if you believe positive things and you feel positive things and you project positive energy outward, then positive things will come your way. So it's not a fairy tale to believe that she found her Prince Charming. The fairy tale aspect of it is to really think that she just got married and then she could have a healthy relationship afterwards. People bring their stuff into relationships, and here's a girl who never had a healthy attachment. She never had a significant relationship. Her only relationship was with animals. So to think that she could just fall into a healthy relationship is obviously not the way that true life works out. She would need to really work through all her stuff. There would be a lot of anxiety attacks and instigated fights and kind of forcing situations so that she could feel in control, so that she could handle the relationship, because she didn't have any schemas or any past experiences of how relationships should be. So I believe that Cinderella could have her fairy tale ending. It would just take a whole lot of therapy and a whole lot of working through.